Hello everyone, welcome to another trade recap and forecast. So we're starting with our first pair on the list, which is the Euro and the US dollar. So I didn't take any trades from last Wednesday. Last Wednesday I took two flags, actually flag plus formations. They were a loss, unfortunately, but from that point on I did not take any new trades on the Euro and the US dollar. Actually, the two trades were, I think, on the Euro Japanese Yen and the Aussie US Dollar, so I didn't take anything on EU recently. Now it's looking very flat and range bound, so I am looking for the liquidity sweep entry, which is a range bound entry. My focus is on these major areas. You can see I have my alerts set, okay? I'm gonna focus on this area, and I'm gonna focus on this area as well, so I'm targeting the major highs or the major lows. Let's see if we can get a nice push into the liquidity area, nice rejection, and then a nice shift in momentum candle. Then I will consider taking a liquidity sweep entry. So a liquidity sweep is basically when you identify a really flat range, such as this one. This one is perfect, I would say. And then below and above the range, there's gonna be stop losses. And usually price will just push into the liquidity areas and reject heavily. Okay, like this. And then you basically sell the top, you buy the bottom, and you aim for a certain fixed profit target. That's it. Very simple entry, works very good. The win rate is nice as well, okay? It's kind of, I make most of my profits from the trending entries, of course, but the liquidity sweep is here to, I would say, make consistent small gains, but also balance out the drawdowns so that the drawdowns are not as deep as they are with the trending entries. So it's a bit easier and that the equity curve is a bit more smooth, right? Because my current equity curve is with, I would say, the dips can be big, right? But if you're using a entry with a higher win rate, then the dips in the equity curve get smaller and smaller, which is definitely something you want to have. That's why I love the liquidity sweep, the win rate, and the just trading the range bound market. Markets can range for most of the time, right? I think markets are trending 30% of the time and they are ranging 70% of the time, and they're volatile as well. But they're mostly ranging and not really trending a lot of the time. So that's interesting to have a liquidity sweep range bound entry. Again, I am gonna put this pair on the watch list. This is interesting because of the reasons I just mentioned, the Euro and the Japanese Yen. And we can analyze price action from last Wednesday. Nothing much was happening. We were very flat. Yeah, I wasn't looking for any sort of an entry. Euro and the Japanese Yen. From last Wednesday, we did not have any entries. We took a flag, so I took a flag here. It was a loss. We got the V reversal, at which point I did expect the price to go to the upside. We never got the confirmation. We never got the signature. We never got that large push up. Instead, price started ascending to the upside. So at this point right here, I was very, very interested to look for a reversal. To me, this ascending channel was very clean. Again, you had 1, 2, 3, look at the dotted lines, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive breaks of the high. Now, that is really, really good. That is a really high probability, especially on the Euro and the Japanese Yen. Euro Japanese Yen really likes to reverse from these clean channels. We never got the confirmation, unfortunately. We never got that signature, that confirmation. We never got the strong break with a nice clean close like this. But it is what it is. We are more patient and we're looking for some better setups. We just got huge double wicks. That's too bad. Then we broke the low, got momentum, but at this point, price was not that clean. It kind of started to move. I would say it kind of started to move from an ascending channel like this into an actual descending channel, which signals further range-bound price action. What I wanted to see some strong commitment, a strong downtrend, and then I would just sell in the bearish legs. Okay, so that was the game plan. But it did not happen, it did not form. Next on the list is the Aussie and the US dollar. I'm not going to put the EJ on the watch list. It's looking like it's starting to range around, being more flat in this general area. Aussie and the US dollar is very, very interesting. So let's see, from last Wednesday, I took a flag here. We covered it in the prior recap. Price went up very correctively. I was not looking for any buy setups in here, to be honest with you. Yeah, this wasn't really interesting to me. Price was looking very corrective, volatile, ascending, leaving wicks, breaking the highs, retracing. Got some momentum here, but it could not be sustained, unfortunately. Went down, so now we're really flat, really range bound. At this point, I was looking for a reversal opportunity because this ascending was okay. It was nothing to write home about, but it was looking interesting. Couldn't commit. So same as the euro and the Japanese yen, this pair just could not commit to the downside. As you can see, kind of correctively breaking the lows, and then we got some momentum, but we got a large shift in momentum with this large blue candle right here. Okay, then we broke the low, retraced. At this point, I didn't really want to take a liquidity sweep of the lower area. There were not enough confluences for me personally. If you want to know more about this, I'm going to do a detailed breakdown in the Zentum trading community. But basically, this sweep was not enough. Yes, this was a major low, but I was looking for a bit more confluences. Now, though, I have my alerts set. See, on these lows and on these highs, I have my alerts. So these are definite liquidity areas. So first we identify the flat range. This is definitely really, really flat. Above the range, upper liquidity. Below the range, you have the lower liquidity. We're looking for a reversal in these areas right there. And again, you have this range right here. This is very flat as well. So that's kind of an added confluence. So for this liquidity area, this one is even better than the one above. You first have the multi-tap here. You have the range, overall range, this one, the big one. You have a smaller range as well. So if a liquidity sweep like this forms, I'm going to be very, very interested, okay? So this pair is definitely on the watch list. I'm seeing a lot of confluences for the liquidity sweep. For the trending entries, I'm not seeing any confluences. It's looking very, very flat, but for the liquidity sweep, I'm very interested. So let's see what happens when my alerts get activated. Switching to the Aussie Japanese Yen, what about this one? Well, last Wednesday we got the V reversal, as you can see. Then we got the range, but we never got the big momentum up. We never got the confirmation or the signature. At this point, the momentum was kind of borderline, not the best. We got the wick. Then we saw a shift in momentum in this candle. Yeah, just did not fit the plan. Now we are really flat, really range bound. I'm trading the liquidity sweep only on the Euro US dollar and the Aussie and the US dollar, and I'm still not doing 1% risk. I'm still doing a gradual risk, so gradually increasing the risk from, let's say, 0.5 to maybe 0.75, and then I'm gonna hit the 1%. Okay, so I'm still not doing the full 1% risk, still implementing it into my live trading. This is now flat, range bound. I am looking for a large push up like this, or a large impulse down like that, just waiting for momentum, waiting for a large impulse up or down, and being a lot more patient on the Aussie and the Japanese yen. This is showing me absolutely nothing. Yeah, just look how flat it is. You can put the price in a box like this. It's looking very, very, very flat. Then we have the pound and the US dollar. That's the next one on the list. Last Wednesday was here, saw nothing. No potential, wasn't looking for any entries. This was looking very ascending to me personally, very corrective, so wasn't looking for buy setups. Then we were kind of flat here, and we just went into a range here as well. Right? You can put the price in a box. Small candles, small bodies, wicks, huge wicks. So a telltale sign of a range is gonna be small bodies of the candles, right? It's gonna be huge wicks everywhere. See here, 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 and it's gonna be just low volume. And you can put the price in a box, right? Those are some telltale signs of a range-bound market. We had a breakout to the upside, but it could not be sustained, so it was clearly a fake out. So now I'm being a lot more patient. Okay, and I'm just looking for a large push up like this or a large impulse down, keeping it very simple. Maybe we can get a V reversal, get a range, get a push down, and then get a nice down trend. Definitely not on the watch list. New Zealand Japanese Yen last Wednesday was around here. Okay, price was very flat, very range bound. I know some people took a buy setup, a break and retest buy setup here. They saw some momentum. They saw one candle pullback, no selling pressure, break of the high, nice clean close. They got in with a break and retest entry like this. Okay, 12 pips. For me personally, the break was not enough. So there were a couple of warning signs. Par price action was flat and range bound. This was not enough momentum. Again, most of the momentum that I gauge is actually what happens after the break. Sure, I do also look at this part. Okay, we have an alert on the Aussie US dollar. We do also look at this part, but I place the most importance on what happens after the break, after the actual break of the high. So we got a little bit of momentum. Pullback was nice, but the break was not enough. If the break was bigger like this, I would have been interested, but it was not. So yeah, then price went up. It would be a small winning setup. And then we were just flat. Now we're just flat and range bound like this. Okay, very flat, very corrective, very range bound. We had a fake out, I believe. See, just a single impulse out of the range. We have the range. We have just a single impulse, probably a news candle, very likely a news candle. Impulse out of it, retrace, aggressive retrace, selling pressure here. Okay. So yeah, now I'm expecting a range bound market, to be honest with you. I think this was a fake out. This move is not sustained, or at least it's not looking sustained. And I am just waiting for a large impulse up like this or a large impulse down like this, right? And that's about it for the New Zealand and the Japanese yen. I'm not gonna put this pair on the watch list. It's not looking good. It's looking corrective. See smaller candles, wicks everywhere. You can put the price in a box. So those are some telltale signs of a range-bound market. And that's what this is. Clearly a range-bound market. And this is clearly a fake out because it's a single impulse. Ends with a huge wick. Aggressive retrace. See, lots of selling pressure could not be sustained. The bullish momentum could not be sustained. Leaving this one alone. We had an alert go off on the Aussie and the US dollar, I believe. Oh, on the Euro US dollar. Let's see it. EU, okay, pushing into the lower liquidity. We'll see. Maybe we get a liquidity sweep opportunity. I would rather take the Aussie and the US dollar. I think it looks much more high probability. But I am keeping these two pairs on the watch list. So that would be it for this trade recap and forecast. We're clearly getting a range bound and a corrective market on all of the currency pairs. So I'm looking for my range bound entries. That's it. Good luck with this week. Maybe we get some moves because we have some news, I believe, soon, today even. And then on Thursday, I think as well, that can create some trends. And that would be about it. See you guys on next Wednesday.